Welcome, people. We end up back at it again with another video. Y'all know what it is. A review of the results. Chelsea 0, Southampton 1. Now, before I get into the review, I just want to say a few things. Firstly, thank you very much to everyone who supported the channel so far and who continue to support the channel. Your contribution to the relative success of this channel so far is appreciated. Second of all, thank you to my parents for supporting the channel through viewing my videos, through watching my videos, and also giving me suggestions on how I can make the videos better. And the third thing that I want to say is I couldn't make time to make a review of the Dortmund-Chelsea game from midweek, and also I couldn't make the time to make a review for the Southampton game. So yeah, I'm sorry about that, but uni had to take priority over the channel. So yeah, now let's get into this review. I'm not happy. I am not happy at all. Like, it's not looking good, bruv. And it hasn't been looking good for a long time. The thing is, there's no excuse to not have beaten Southampton today. We should have beaten them, right? Because let's look at our situation and their situation, right? So, first of all, right, we're 10th, right? And confidence would be low, right? But their confidence would be even lower, right? Because they'll be playing away from home. And before this game, they were 20th. They were last in the table, you know, bottom of the table, right? And it wasn't looking good for them either, right? So you'd think that because we're Chelsea, we got the quality, right? We should at least go into the game with a bit of confidence that we'll be able to beat a bottom of the table Southampton, you know. They're the ones who should have come into the game with lower confidence, right? Second of all, we have a permanent head coach who is paid £12 million a year. Over the course of 5 years, that's £60 million, right? In a month, he makes £1 million. In a week, he makes £250,000, right? He gets paid a lot, right? And he's getting paid a lot because he should be one of the best managers in this league, right? Whereas, if you look at Southampton, they don't have a permanent manager. They have an interim/caretaker manager. That's what they've got at the moment, you know? So, another reason we should be beating them, right? Third, although Southampton are in the league in the first place because there is some talent there, right? You can't be a team in this league if you have absolutely no talent, right? They've got some talent there, right? But with Chelsea Football Club, right, playing at home with the quality that we've got, World Cup winners like Enzo Fernandez in the team, why are we not winning? Why are we not beating them, you know? So there's no excuse to not have beaten them today. And it's even more shameful and disgraceful to have lost to them, you know? So yeah, that's how I feel about the result as a whole. Now let's get into the review. Potter went with a 4-2-3-1, right? And I agreed with that formation. That's a formation that I wanted to see before the game. Now, the people that he played are Kepa in goal, left back Ben Chilwell, left centre back Benoit Badiashile, right centre back Kalidou Koulibaly, and right back Cesar Azpilicueta, right? So let's just talk about the back four quickly. With Kepa, I'm very happy that he played, right? Because who else are you gonna play? Mendy, I don't know what's going on with him, but he was in the matchday squad, so obviously you're gonna play Kepa in it. So yeah. Now, as of Ben Chilwell starting, I'm happy with that selection. You know, Marco Correa was left out of the matchday squad. Lewis Hall was on the bench, right? So we could have played him, right? And he has some talent, you know. Going forward, he's very good, but starting Chilwell was the right choice. It was just the right choice to make, you know. Then left centre back Benoit Badiashile, I'm very, very happy with that selection. He's been good since he joined us from AS Monaco. As for Kalidou Koulibaly, when I saw that he was playing, I got a bit stressed, bro. Because the thing is, Koulibaly is erratic at times, you know. And that scares me because it's like, that could get him a yellow card, and then he could be even sent off if he makes another reckless challenge. You know, now we're playing with 10 men. It's not looking good for us. So yeah, when I saw him in the team, I got a bit stressed, but he didn't play extremely badly, and his inclusion in the team is not why we lost. Also, Potter left Thiago Silva out of the squad completely in order to give him rest. And that's kind of makes sense, seeing though he's seeing as though he's 38 years old. So, okay, I understand that. Now, in the right back position, we had Aspi instead of Reece James because Reece James was rested. He has played two 45-minute games. Before this game, he played two 90-minute games, sorry. And Potter didn't feel confident with Reece playing a 90-minute game for the third time in a row, since he's only recently come back from injury, and that makes sense to me. So I can understand why Reece wasn't included in the matchday squad, but I would have started Aspi. I would have started Chalobah instead, because Aspi's not as sharp as he needs to be, if I can say it like that. He has regressed, right? He's not the player that he once was. So I would have played Chalobah instead, who has played in the right back position before and done well. So yeah, but it is what it is, we move. Then he went with a midfield pivot of Mateo Kovacic and Enzo Fernandez. That is a combination that I think quite a few Chelsea fans have wanted to see, because they want to see Enzo playing, obviously, because we spend so much money on him, and he is a talented boy. And they wanted to see him playing alongside a proper defensive midfielder like Kovacic. So it makes sense. Now, the three attacking midfielders, or an attacking midfielder with two wingers either side of him, were Mason Mount, João Felix, and Noni Madueke, right? So now, João Felix playing, that was always going to be a given, to be honest, and he should be playing, you know. He's a bright spark in the squad, so it makes sense for him to be playing. Noni Madueke, he's a new boy that we spend quite a bit of money on, so him playing makes sense, first of all, and second of all, he put in a good performance against West Ham. Off the bench against Fulham, he did well too, so it makes sense for him to play. As for Mason Mount had no business at all being in the starting 11 when Mikhailo Mudryk is on the bench, and he's not in, and he hasn't recently been injured or anything like that. Mudryk was just chilling on the bench, nothing wrong with him. For some reason, he's not playing. Mount is playing instead. That doesn't make sense, bruv. First of all, Mount is not a left winger. Second of all, his form does not justify him starting over Mudryk at all. But anyway, we move. Up top was David Datro Fofana, right? The Ivorian striker who's known as the next Didier Drogba, the Didier Drogba regen, which I hope he'll be, right? He started his first Premier League game, and I was quite happy to see him being included in the squad. Kai Havertz will always affectionately be known as King Kai, right? Even when he's not playing for Chelsea anymore, right? And he works hard for the team. He can perform well in the striker position, but he's not a natural striker, first of all. And second of all, and most importantly, he hasn't really been delivering. He hasn't. So it made sense for Fofana to play over him, you know, trying something different. Maybe could have yielded a different result, you know. So overall, the team that Potter picked was good, except for the right back position and the left wing position. He should have changed those up, you know, in my opinion. Now, in terms of how the game went, Southampton were the aggressors in the first half. In the first 20 minutes, I think they had 63% possession, and we had 37%. And you didn't even need the possession stats to see who's in control of the game. Southampton were coming at us, peppering our midfield and our defense with their attacks, right? And as for us, we were attacking them once every 5-6 minutes, right? Whereas they were constantly attacking, right? So when I saw that, I was concerned, because we're playing at home and we have less than half the possession. And we're not even playing Man City. We're playing bottom of the table Southampton. That showed me that I have a reason to worry watching this game, right? But anyway, I kept on observing, right? Trying to identify who's playing well on our side, who's not playing so well, right? And the two standout performers for me were Noni Madueke and David Datro Fofana. Noni Madueke, what I liked about him is his first real involvement in the game. He won the ball back in our half, right? And from there, he went on a very good run and he got a shot off, right? Now, it wasn't the most powerful shot because it was on his weaker foot, right? And all that. But he showed good desire to win the ball back in the first place. And in the second place, the second thing that he did was carry the ball forward very well. So that made me happy, you know. And overall, in the first half, I think he offered a lot for us. You know, he's the kind of person who you give him the ball and he's not just gonna do this sideways passing thing, this backwards passing thing. Nah, bro. He's gonna take that ball, he's gonna carry it forward, get into the box, get it into a dangerous area, and maybe get a shot off or put the ball into the box, right, for others to attack. So I like that from him. As for David Fofana, I think it's a bit early to call him the Drogba region, but my man looked electric. For me, he looked electric. I remember there was a point where he got the ball in our half, he turned and he used his pace very well, right, to cover quite a bit of distance in a short amount of time, and he won a free kick for us. And when I saw that, I'm like thinking, okay, this is the kind of player that we can play a ball in behind to, and he's got the pace to get that ball, right, and from there go on and do something with it. What else? Then also in terms of Dacho Fofana, what I liked is that if he didn't just stay central, right, and do nothing else, right, and just chill there and wait for the ball to come to him. He came to the left-hand side, right, to receive the ball there as well, because the ball wasn't coming central, Southampton weren't allowing us to play out. So he decided, you know what, I'm not just going to stand in the same position, I'm going to move into a different position. And I like seeing that from him, because it shows a striker who doesn't only have it in his head to play one specific way. He can kind of switch up his game if required, to fulfill the requirements of the situation at that time. So I like that as well from him. So yeah, Southampton had the monopoly of the possession in the first 20-25 minutes, right? But we came back at them later, and evidence of this was shown by the fact that the possession moved from them having 63% to them having 51% by the end of the first half, right? But regardless of who had control of the game, Southampton are the ones who found the back of the net. And there's two players we could look at, two Chelsea players to look at for the goal, right? Now, you can look at Aspi, and you can look at his Spanish compatriot, Kepa, right? With Aspi, his mistake was fouling a Southampton player named Stuart Armstrong. So Stuart Armstrong had the ball, right? He's running towards the Chelsea goal, right? He sees quite a few Chelsea players in front of him, right? He decides to turn away from the Chelsea goal, right, to look for a better option in terms of a passing opportunity, right? He looks for a better option, right? But he's facing away from the Chelsea goal, right? And Aspi decides to foul him, right? Now, it kind of made me angry, because I was thinking that's so unnecessary, right? But I let it go, right? And I was really, really hoping that Southampton will not score from there. But lo and behold, James Ward-Prowse took the penalty, and not the penalty, he took the free kick and he scored. Now, as for Kepa's involvement in the concession of this goal, he did stretch to get to the ball, to make an attempt to get to the ball. However, Ward-Prowse's free kick wasn't quite in the corner. And when it's not quite in the corner, you kind of have an expectation of the goalkeeper to get a finger on it, you understand? But that didn't happen. And after all, Kepa is not the one who gave away the free kick. And he did stretch really far to try to get the ball, and he wasn't able to. So I guess it just is what it is. We keep things moving from there. We can't really complain too much about him not keeping that out. We just have to move on from that. Now, going into the second half, we needed a response, right? And we did get that response. But I think that Graham Potter made a certain change that cost us the game, in my opinion. He made two changes at the beginning of the second half. He brought on Wesley Fofana and Raheem Sterling for Kalidou Koulibaly and David Fofana. Now, Wesley Fofana being introduced for Kalidou Koulibaly made a lot of sense, because Koulibaly got himself a yellow card early on. Yes, it was harsh, but he got the yellow card nonetheless. And I think Potter didn't want to put himself into a situation where one of his centre backs gets himself sent off, right? So he's like, you know what? Let's put on Wesley Fofana, because we don't want to be down to 10 men later on in the game. That made sense to me, But what really infuriated me was it wasn't him putting Sterling on, it was him taking off for David Fofana. That made me really, really angry, because I'm thinking Mason Mount has contributed nothing offensively. absolutely nothing offensively, right? But you're taking off one of our standout performers so far. It's like, it doesn't make sense. If you're going to put Sterling on, that's fine. I have no problem with that. But take off Mason Mount because he wasn't doing anything. Whereas Fofana was giving us something, Fofana gets the ball and you think, okay, something can happen there. Something can happen there. He's looking electric and all of this. Mason Mount is like, he wasn't even there, bro. So why is he staying on? It didn't make sense to me. But anyways, the second half started and we came out stronger, right? We had the possession. We had the possession this time. I think we had 70% plus possession in the first 10 minutes of the first half, which is good, right? And Sterling was playing well. He was playing really, really well. He was picking the ball up, advancing with it nicely, getting himself into dangerous positions, right? Trying to make things happen for the team. I really liked what I saw from him. With Sterling's performance today, so, okay, the performances today that can get a thumbs up. It's Madueke, 100% thumbs up. Fofana and Sterling so far. I'll mention the others who deserve a thumbs up a little later. And even though we were playing better than we did in the first half, we were creating chances, creating openings for ourselves. Once again, in the Chelsea fashion, right, that we've seen in the last few years, we did not take advantage. We did not score. And if you don't score in football, it doesn't matter whatever else you do well, So, yeah. Later on, Graham Potter decides to bring on Mykhailo Mudryk and Kai Havertz. And he brought off Mason Mount and Noni Madueke. Now, Mount off and Havertz on, that made sense to me because Mount didn't do anything going forward, right? But taking off Madueke for Mudryk infuriated me because Mudryk should have started the game in the first place, right? He should have started that game with Madueke in the first place, right? But not only is he putting Mudryk on late, he's taking off Madueke, who was a bright spark for us. Like, it doesn't make sense, bro. Why are you taking off one of your most dangerous players? For what reason? It doesn't make sense. But anyway, we move. Now, after that change, again, we created more chances, but we didn't score any, unfortunately. Now, towards the end of the game, I think it was in the 74th minute, there was a Southampton corner, and I think it was from a corner, and Aspi tried to clear the ball by heading it away, and he was caught in the face by Sikumara, a Southampton player, and this blow to the face was so bad that it knocked Aspi out, right? But I'd like to report that he is in a stable condition, right? And what I mean by that is he's conscious and he's speaking with his wife, so that's good. And he also got an ovation from Chelsea fans as well as Southampton fans when he was stretchered off. So, yeah, I just hope that he gets well soon. Yes, he was at fault for the goal, right? Predominantly. However, he's our leader. He's our captain, leader, legend, and more importantly, he's a human being, and you don't like to see instances like that where somebody gets hurt and you don't know if you guys should be fearing the worst or what. So I just hope that he gets well soon. I hope that where he is, he's recovering nicely. Now, after that long stoppage where Aspi had to get treatment, Chelsea brought on Trevor Chalobah and Conor Gallagher. Now, with Chalobah, like I said, I feel like he should have started the game in the first place. As for Gallagher, when he came on, I'm thinking, what is this gen gonna do? What is he gonna do, But fair play to Gallagher. He got himself into a position where he got himself into a position in the box where he got to the byline and he put a ball into the box, but unluckily for him, the keeper caught it, right? But at least he did a little something, you know what I'm saying? It's better than what I thought he would do, so yeah. Now, the reason Chelsea got to make 6 subs is because one of the subs was due to an injury, a head injury that our player sustained, so that's why we were able to make an additional substitution. Now, after the 90 minutes had elapsed, the fourth official added on 12 minutes, right? Even though Aspi's injury took 10 minutes to treat. And even that couldn't save Chelsea Football Club. So, yeah. The game ended and we lost to bottom of the table Southampton. Now, my problem with us losing today, there are a few problems, right? My first problem is the fact that Graham Potter set us up to fail. He should have started Chalobah at right back. He should have started Mudryk in the left wing position. That's the first thing. The second thing, I feel that it was too easy for Southampton. Like, they showed up and they had fight within them, but why were they just able to do what they wanted in the first half? Well, the first 25 minutes anyway. They were able to do what they wanted going forward. Why? That time we were playing at home. It doesn't make sense, bruv. It does not make any sense, you know? The third thing, I feel as though it was clear as day for anyone to see that Southampton were getting the better of us in the first half. So what I would have liked from Potter was for him to add an extra midfielder, right, in the middle of the park. Because with Enzo and Kova, they were kind of just there, man. They didn't impact the game so much, you know. They didn't impose themselves on the game, you know. They were kind of just there. So yeah, that's disappointing, quite disappointing. I think maybe we could have benefited if he brought on Chukwuemeka, right? Put an extra body there, and then it's more difficult for Southampton to just do what they want. So yeah. In terms of player ratings, last thing that made me angry. I feel as though Chelsea fans are investing their time, energy, effort, and for the match-going fans, their money, right, into supporting the football club, but the team aren't giving them worthwhile performances. It wasn't rocket science, the fact that some people left Stamford Bridge early today. Like, they came, they paid a lot of money, they did support the team by, even when the team wasn't playing well, going, come on Chelsea, but the team still didn't give them much to be happy about. So yeah, the team need to improve, bro, because it's not fair. What they're doing to us is not fair. The fans are coming out. They show up for this team every week, supporting them, whether it's from home or actually going to the stadium. We support them every week, and they're not giving us worthwhile performances, bro. We could be doing other things with our time instead of watching them for an hour and 45 minutes. You get me? So yeah, they need to pattern up. The team just needs to pattern up. Anyway, those were my thoughts on the game. Leave your thoughts down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and all them thing there. Peace, people.